One random Monday morning, John wakes up and he's going to work as usual, right? So he wakes up, he gets ready, enters his car, and he starts to drive. So as he's driving to work, he notices a beeping sound, right? Something is just beeping and making some sort of noises. Then he looks like he starts to try to find where the noise is coming from. Then he sees a sort of timer. It doesn't really make much sense. Why is there a timer in my car? As he's driving, he asks, what do they call it? His voice assistant, Siri or Google, whatever. Hey Siri, I'm hearing a beeping sound coming from under my car. And I entered into my car and there's this weird timer just like it's someone that fixed it here. Like, what does it mean? And Siri basically explains that, oh, yeah, you have a nuclear bomb under your vehicle. There's literally a nuclear bomb strapped under your car right now and it's about to detonate. So John starts to panic because what the fuck, right? Like that's crazy. So at first he's doubtful, but he doesn't even want to, like, we don't want to take any chances. So he calls the police, right, and informs them about this thing. So they tell John, okay, the only thing we'll have to do right now is you will have to drive as far away as possible from this place and go to a place that they can defuse the bomb, because the timer that is there is very short. Let's assume it's like 30 minutes, and no matter how far away it goes from the city, because of how powerful this bomb is, like, everybody is still going to die. The blast is going to destroy the whole city, destroy the whole country or the whole town or the whole state, whatever. Like, it's going to be massive, right? It doesn't matter how fast he drives. So if he drives an hour, he's still going to destroy it. So the only way they can stop this bomb is if he can drive to their bomb detonation center place, right? And they have this pad landing, like a giant pad thing that will drive the car on top. So the pad thing has some way to create some frequency that will interfere with the bomb's frequency and to stop the bomb from blowing. That's the only way to solve this problem. Alright, so John starts to drive, steps on the gas, drives as fast as he can, trying to get to that place in time, right? Then as he's driving, one of his tire pops. Fuck. So he brings the car to a stop. Now his tire is popped. He doesn't have his spare tire, doesn't really know how to change tires, right? Like, he just recently started driving. So he calls the police again and tells them, oh yeah, as I was trying to hurry to the bomb, this is what happened. So they're like, alright, we'll send the mechanic right away to come and help him fix it as fast as possible so he can continue his journey. So takes a few minutes. John is like panicking, like, what the fuck, or this bomb is about to detonate. He even checks under the car to see if it's real, and he actually sees it. It's a big ass bomb. It's real. So the mechanic arrives, right, and he tells the mechanic that, okay, so this is the situation, you should change the tire as fast as possible, let's so you can hurry up and quickly get to the detonation place to stop the bomb. Mechanic is like, alright, no problem. So he looks at the flat tire, right, and he's like, you know what, I think I need to wash this car. And John is like, wait, what? And he asks John, like, when was the last time I washed your car? And he's like, I don't know, so maybe sometime last week, I'm not too sure. So the mechanic says, okay, hold on, we have to wash the car first. And John is really confused, like, how does washing the car, like, how is that going to help with the flat tire? But he just, whatever, man, you should just get it done, just do it as fast as possible, like, we're really running out of time. So the mechanic goes ahead and he washes the car. So now the car is sparkling, looking good. Like, And the mechanic says, you know what? I think we need to tint your windows as well. Like, they are too transparent. Your windows need to be black and tinted. And John is literally looking at this guy like, are you fucking retarded, bro? Like, fix the tire. That's what they sent you here to do. And he's like, of course. Like, are you questioning my job? Like, this is my profession. I've been doing this for like 7 years now. I know in the ins and outs. Like, I'm telling you, fixing tinting your glasses is what is going to help right here, right now. So John, try not to push further because he's a chill guy. Alright, it's fine. Just hurry up. Like, we're running out of time. There's literally a timer that is counting down. And if this timer gets to 0, we are all going to die. So we don't want that to happen, right? So the mechanic goes ahead. He reaches to his toolbox place. He brings out some tint stuff. Tints the windows. So he has a clean car with tinted windows. Nice. Alright, can you do the tire now? So the mechanic's like, alright, I'll get to the tire. But before then, I noticed your seats, they're like really ugly. What? And he's like, yeah, your seats, look at it, like this is just really like uncomfortable. How do you even sit in this thing and drive for hours? And John is literally like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, just change the fucking tire. And he's like, bro, this is my job, this is my profession. I've been doing this for 7 good years. I've been doing this out of high school. My father was a mechanic, and I'm a mechanic. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing, so please just trust me. I need to change your seats, because you're going to be sitting in this thing driving, and the more comfortable the seat is, the faster and easier it will be for you to drive. So just let me do my damn job. So John backs down. All right, fine, but please hurry the fuck up. I've literally wasted a lot of time. Like, just be fast. All right. So he opens the car doors, starts to rip the seats out, right? And he goes to his own car, his own what do you call it, toolbox and stuff, to bring out like new seats and install it. So the mechanic goes ahead and installs the seats. So John is like, okay, so can we change the tire now? Like, can you just change the fucking tire now? And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So he's about to change the tire, and he's like, oh my god, I just noticed your car doesn't have any wing or spoiler. Bro, like, that is not important right now, just change the fucking tire. He's like, no, it is very essential for the aerodynamics, because if your car has a wing or a spoiler, the spoiler makes the car move faster, the wing gives the car more drag. So the more drag the car has, the faster it's able to drive and, you know, move faster and get you to your destination quicker. So you know what, so I'm going to install a wing on your car, because I think that will be better for you. Or no, in this case, since you're in a hurry, I think a spoiler will be better. And John's like, bro, we don't need that, just change the fucking tire. And they literally start to argue, and the mechanic is just really like firm that he knows what he's doing. And he's like, you know what, a spoiler isn't going to even be enough. We also need a wide body kit, because the wider the body kit, you know, the more badass the car looks and the more aerodynamics it gives the car, so the car can move 10 times faster. So the mechanic goes ahead, goes into his toolbox thing, starts to bring out the wide body kits to install on the car. At this point, John looks at the timer and just says, yep, there's no way they're going to make it, except he changes the tire like right now, and even if he does, they have to drive like 5 times faster than he already was going. So John just abandons the mechanic there and starts to run by foot, because he just knows, like, even though he knows it's going to be a nuclear bomb and it doesn't matter how far he runs, he's still going to die eventually. He just says he wants to try, right? So he starts to run as well. He just leaves the idiocy and just runs away. So that one goes ahead and installs the wide body kit. After installing the wide body kit, he raises his head up, looks around, he's like, where did this guy go? Or whatever. He's about to fix the tires again. He looks at the headlights of the car and he's like, come on, man, look at these headlights. What is this, 1996? So he goes to his toolbox thing, he, you know, brings out the headlights and he changes them to one that looks more modern and more badass and whatever. So while he's doing that, the beeping sound starts to get louder. Then he remembers, oh yeah, right. We're supposed to change the tires so he could drive this car. Like, where did he go? Alright, he left the car key here, so, you know, we don't really need him. Okay. So he starts to lose the tire, right? Starts changing the tire. And as he's changing the timer eventually goes, you know, the bomb timer. Bomb starts really beep. The timer goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he looks at the timer, but it's just, you know, it just enters 0. I thought it was actually going to boom. It explodes. Massive nuclear bomb, like big ass nuclear bomb. Like, the explosion is so crazy. It's literally like all those type of explosions that happen in World War, like those type of crazy explosion, right? Mushroom cloud, just debris, dust. The mechanic guys just burnt to ashes, destroyed. One John that ran as fast as he could, dead as well. Everybody within the city radius dead. And the ones that, you know, not too close, the like heat blast or heat wave from the explosion kills them all. At the end of the day, everybody dies. Mission failed, right? The is it the US, what do they call it, like the police department or the army, or, you know, the people in charge of the bomb, whatever, they are all really sad and pissed at what the fuck, man. So what's the moral of this little story? You know, the story is kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie, but what's the moral of this little story? Like, it's like, what's lessons? What was this story all about? The main thing that would have prevented that bomb from happening, right, in an alternate universe, the mechanic came, he didn't even ask any question about the car, he didn't do anything, he just changed the fucking flat tire, and John continued on his way. He was eventually able to drive to, you know, the bomb place where they could defuse it, and, you know, deactivated it, and his life and millions of others were saved. So the difference there is, in the alternate universe, the mechanic actually focused on the problem. The mechanic actually focused on the constraints. While in this universe where they all died, the idiot mechanic focused on everything else but the flat tire. And I just came up with this story, kind of cringe, yes, I've said that story. But the reason why I brought that story up is like a lot of us are trying to become successful, we're trying to make progress, we're trying to, make money or, whatever else we're trying to pursue. But it's like we always like to focus on everything else that is not the constraint, right? So I made a video recently and it was something like, don't lock in. And the idea is like when a lot of us are trying to lock in, we forget about the important things. Like, because when they say locking in, what does locking in actually mean? It means, you're no longer going to watch TV, or you're no longer going to play video games. You're going to wake up by 4 a.m. every morning and do push-ups and go for a run. After going for a run, you take a cold shower, then you journal and exercise and meditate. And after doing all that, you finally sit down to do your work. After doing your work, you go for a run and you talk to nobody and just basically focus, right? And it's good on the surface. It's like a very beautiful routine, beautiful like lifestyle. But the problem I found with me trying to follow that type of stuff is you start to get focused on the wrong thing. And what do I mean by that? How do I mean so? For example, in the locking in stuff, right, a lot of like one of the big things, like you're supposed to wake up early. But the problem is you start to focus on waking up early than actually achieving your goal, right? It's like your main goal now becomes to wake up early and journal and meditate and exercise, and all, which is not bad by any means, don't get the message wrong. But it's like the constraint is whatever thing you're trying to achieve, right? So for example, if it's to make money and become successful and all that, right, that is the constraint. So like whether you wake up early or you don't, as long as you do the actions required to get you to the desired destination, literally, let's assume is I don't know, let's think which random business model. Let's assume you want to be a copywriter, a successful copywriter, for example. As long as it doesn't matter if you wake up early, it doesn't matter if you wake up late, as long as you find time to do the activities that are going to make you a good copywriter, which is writing the copy, practicing writing it, reviewing it, and studying other people's copy, and just practicing, getting better, making iterations and all of that stuff. As long as you do that, whether you wake up early, you wake up late, you spend all day on your phone, you watch TikTok, you watch YouTube videos, you watch movies, you have a girlfriend, you are single, you go have a job, you go to school, or you are working or you are not working, like that is the most important thing. That is literally the constraint, right? So after that is solved, after that is done, then the money comes in. But a lot of us, we ignore that's like the most important part and focus on everything else that is not that, which is like, waking up early, or which other thing, doing push-ups or meditation or sleeping on time, or socialize, whatever else it is, right? So the reason why I told that story is back to the story earlier, the mechanic guy, like all the other modifications he did to the car wasn't a bad thing, like they were all really nice, right? But it's like, if you don't fix the flat tire, it doesn't matter, the car is still not going to move, the car is still not going to drive, the car is still like, when the bomb detonates, everything is still going to blow, like everybody is still going to die at the end of the day. That's if you don't fix the constraints, which is the flat tire. But when you fix, like, you could ignore everything else but just do the flat tire, and like everything will be saved, right? Like that's the whole idea. So it's like, if you are trying to be like a successful copywriter or a forex trader, or I don't know, around like start a marketing agency or become a YouTuber or whatever it is, like you can do, like, as long as you do the core activities that get you closer to that goal, every other thing doesn't really matter. Like, now don't get it wrong, it's not to say the other activities are bad, it's just they are not as important as the constraints at that particular period of time. So just like the story I told, every other modification you do to the car, not that they are bad, they are just not as important as the fixing the flat tire at that particular period in time. So the moral lesson here is, first of all, identify the season of life you're in. And I think there's nothing wrong in being in a different, like, a lot of us who have just basically gotten the idea, like, let's say social media has brainwashed us, especially in this whole self-improvement, motivation, become successful, make money online, to believe that we always have to be in the make money online season, like we always have to be on the grind 247, which is kind of true, but at the same time it's not. It's true because, you know, obviously, like the more harder you work and more ambitious you are, the better your life, the more success. But at the same time it's not, because you could have, you know, like you have your own goals, you have your own priorities, you have your own experience, right? Like for example, somebody that might, you know, when he was much younger, for example, maybe didn't focus as much on business and he focused on just maybe social life and just getting girls or whatever. But the older he grows, right, he starts to focus more on business. A lot of us, we never had that social period of, you know, just being social and getting girl, that season. So we just try to skip that and just get straight into the whole making money. Now don't get it wrong, the thing about all this is there's a weird gray area, because there's no right or wrong answer, right? It's like some people have done it this way and they all became successful, some people have done it this way and they still all became successful. So there's no right or wrong answer, but it's just know what you are chasing. Like, what is the goal? Like, what are we trying to do here? Like, is the goal to become, you know, successful, make as much money as possible as fast as possible? Is the goal to just follow your passion? Is the goal to find yourself? Is the goal to get a girlfriend? Is the goal to get married? Is the goal to just have sex? Is the goal to become social? Is the goal to, like, you know, develop your skills? Is the goal to get muscle? Like, what are we optimizing for? Like, what are we chasing? So that's the very first step. So after you identify the first step, so let's assume, you know, it's still the money stuff, right? The next step is to look for the constraints, because the constraints is the most important thing, right? Like, you could do it doesn't matter even if you do nothing else, like if you do all the bad habits, everything wrong, as long as you deal with that constraint, you will still make like significant progress. So ask yourself, what is the constraint? So like the copywriter guy, for example, the constraint is not, you know, dropping out of school or quitting his job, or you know, and never spending a dime in his life again, like saving every single money that comes his way, or I don't know, waking up early, or that is not the constraints. The constraint is just doing the activities, like the copywriting activities that are going to make him successful. So let me use my own self as like an example, right? So I did the same thing, like my own artist. For now, my own goal is like, oh, money, success, whatever, like 90% or pretty much 100% of the world. But I started to notice my constraints. You know, at first I started to focus on like, oh, I should wake up earlier, or oh, I should stop eating this, or I should spend less time on my phone, or, you know, I should stop watching YouTube videos, or I'm doing this, and like, which is absolutely true. But that is not the constraints. That is not the constraints. Do you know why? Because there was still a period that I did all that. Like, I went like a while without doing all those, you know, bad habits. I really cut down on them, and my life didn't change much. It's like, of course, I started to do the push-ups and wake up early, and which was amazing, but like, I still didn't get the results. Why? Because I didn't focus on the main constraints. And I'm noticing my own constraints right now is just following the plan I've created. Because I had these bad habits where I'll create a plan and I'll follow it for maybe 30 days, then I'll just abandon it and create a new one. I'll do that one again for like 30 days, abandon it, create, and the cycle just continues to repeat. So it's like, don't create any new plans. Like, the last plan you created is perfect, just follow it. So even if it's, you know, bad in theory, like oh, look at this stupid plan I made, there's a lot of room for improvement here, which is true. But it's like, a bad plan that is executed on is always going to outperform a good plan that was never executed. Like, that is just fact. A bad plan or a mediocre plan, I won't argue bad, like the most terrible plan ever, that's they actually followed through on from A to Z, beginning to end, is always going to be 100 times better than a perfect plan, like flawless plan that was just never executed on, or was poorly executed on. Why is that? Because action is everything. And usually when you start to take action, you start to see things that you didn't see before. Since as when you were planning, you, like, your brain could just never come up with those type of scenarios, right? So my own problem right now, like my own constraints now, is just following the plan. Like, just take action, just do stuff reasonably consistently. Like, that's literally it. And after doing that for a while, and you know, that constraint has been removed, okay, now can I improve the plan? Okay, now can I look at, okay, maybe I should start waking up early. Now can I look at, okay, I should probably stop spending much time on my phone. Now can I look at, okay, maybe I should stop going out. I don't go out anyways, but maybe I should like reduce the way I talk to people, or, you know, how many times I go out for my job or for my gig or whatever, just so I can really focus on this thing, right? So you want to start with the constraints. Like, don't just like, the idea is like, don't just go and do anything. Focus on the constraint, the thing that is actually holding you back, because if you do everything else except that thing, you're going to make no progress and get nowhere. Like, you will be the guy that's basically, who, I'm locking in on all that and has done all the push-ups and read all the books and listened to all the podcasts and wakes up early every day, but you're still broke as fuck. As if, your goal is like, oh, money and go. So always look for the constraints. Then once that constraint is fixed, you look for the next constraints. Then once that constraint is fixed, you look for the next one and the next one and the next one, and so on and so forth. That is how you get ahead.